Hello, how you guys doing? James here. Well, there's a different topic I want to go this time. And this time I'm going back to relationships because it seems like this is very more interesting than anything.
Is government working for you anymore?
And
No. Raise your hands if you.
let me start by saying, and I'm going to give a little 5 minute detail. There's some women, and I was just thinking about this to myself. There are women out there that, they're very smart, they're very intelligent in America and in other parts of the world. There are women out there very, very attractive. There are women out there very, very smart. They're and they're very, very keen on their body. They know how to get a man with their looks. Here's the part about some women before I play this video. How is it that you get the man, the certain type of man, and you're still not happy? You're still not happy with this man. You're still not, he has a good personality. He has a good job. He has everything going. When you still, and so you do something and you say something ignorant in an argument, you kind of pester him and push him away. Then you come on. Then some of these women come online, complain about men ain't crap, or they have a warped mindset about how much money that they need to have in order because they think that their appearance and their body parts should compensate for a relationship. And it's something that it is really sad because it takes away from real women that understand that it takes time to put in the work and work in a relationship. You have women that's in places like the Philippines, and different countries like that, Thailand, parts of Africa. They may not have, as far as currency, as far as the cost of living is different. But they have something that some Western women don't have. They know how to love a man. And how they love a man is watching their mother, their grandmother. Like I heard women say, even they don't speak no English. Yeah, they may not know. To you, they might not do that. But you meet the right woman over there, and the reason why men are going over there, passport bros. Because why should a passport bro or any man invest their time into a woman that act like she's entitled and she's spoiled? Then you get to a certain point, and I'm gonna play this, until you get to a certain age, then you start waking up when you're in your 40s and your 50s and your 60s. Why is that? What? And then some women who are there still ain't figured it out yet. You can get the man, but you gotta keep the relationship. And then you dispose of a man like some men do women, and like they discard them like they used furniture or used car. And they wonder why the next relationship, in some cases, don't work out. And if you go through 2 or 3 relationships and have 5, 6 kids and 5 different baby daddies, it must be, at some point, it got to be you, because you don't. It's something about you and that's how I feel. When you're young, one time. Second time as a woman, I think you should at least learn your lesson. You invest your time, your emotions, your body, the pregnancy, going through all that to have a kid. Your emotions with it, everything. Just to throw it away and go through the whole cycle over again. I don't understand that. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play this video.
Electric
And I'll
and
be back
gas
with my
should be more
commentary.
affordable. Discover a new move.
What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I have another story of couple breaking up, separating. I actually came across this story when I was doing some research for another video, and it was just very random. And I tweeted out that a lot of breakups today because there was another breakup as far as like Tamar Braxton is concerned. By the time you see this video, maybe I'll put that video up, maybe I haven't. But this shows me that people might say, well, it's a Hollywood thing. No, I think it's a cultural thing. I think that here you have a woman in Jodie Turner Smith, right, who married Joshua Jackson, but she never took his last name. She always kept her name. She actually, Jodie Turner Smith, proposed to Joshua Jackson. There's even articles like this, but also about how she changed his view on marriage. She changed his views on marriage and children. So that just shows you how much she pursued this marriage thing. She proposed to him, right? Her being married, this was something that she wanted, and he went along with it. Only for her to then, a couple of years later, decide that she don't want to be married no more. You see how it is? You see why men don't want to get married? Because they end up getting married. This woman wants marriage, she wants children. You give her those things, only for her to then want out. This is why a lot of men do not seek marriage, because these women are very fickle, and when they don't want to be married anymore, they are going to leave. They're not going to stay, and that's the reality. That's why I don't get why people have so much vitriol towards men that choose not to marry. They're making a smart choice, not only for themselves financially, but spiritually, emotionally. Because when you get married, you're giving your all to this person. You're giving this person your last name, even though Jodie Turner didn't want it. She wanted the marriage, but not his last name. This is why women should not be shocked when men say they don't want marriage. This woman wanted marriage from Joshua. She got everything she wanted from him, and she left him. This is why we feel the way that we feel. This is why you have men who say, you know what, I'm not interested in marriage, because as soon as this woman no longer wants to be with me, she can just walk away. And that's what is seemingly happening here. But we're going to get into this. Make sure y'all like the video. It's according to Metro. Jodie Turner Smith filed for divorce from husband Joshua Jackson. Jodie Turner Smith has filed for divorce from husband Joshua Jackson after around 4 years of marriage, it has been claimed. The couple, who share a daughter, Janie, together tied the knot in 2019 following a whirlwind romance. According to reports, the Clean and Slim actress submitted paperwork to officially end her relationship with the Dawson's Creek star months after they were hit with split rumors. TMZ reports that the mom of one cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for the divorce, claiming the date of separation as September 13th. The outlet added that she has requested joint custody of their daughter and wants to remove the option of spousal support from both parties. That's how badly she wants out this marriage. Whenever a woman says she doesn't want child support or spouse support, that lets you know she had already made her mind up. The reason for the reported split has not been shared, but there are thought they have had a prenup in place. The report may come as a surprise as Jodie and Joshua look cozy together at J. Crew's 40th anniversary celebration last month. They both shared snaps from the event on their Instagram pages, including uploads as they posed together on the red carpet. The pair first met in 2018, having a flirty encounter at Usher's birthday party, and have been inseparable ever since. So you meet each other in 2018, then you marry in 2019. That is very quick escalation of a relationship. And into marriage, no less. Although they have remained fiercely guarded about their relationship, the Anne Boleyn actress previously confessed that their romance began as a one-night stand. So she met this guy She met this guy at Usher's birthday party, and they had a one night stand. Just like that. Ain't no getting to know, right? Getting comfortable. She saw this guy at Usher's birthday party, and they got it in. When she first met her husband, it was kind of, we had a one night stand. We're in 2-3 year one night stand now. She announced during an appearance on the late night with Seth Meyers spilling the beans on their love story. First of all, she saw him before he saw her, and said, when she saw him, she was like, she want that. And then when he saw her, he said, just pretended like didn't see him. She said he comes over and does this really cute, charming thing that he does, and just all night, he just basically followed her around the party. The Pacey Witter icon efforts worked, and they were soon romantically linked, with Jody popping the question on New Year's Eve before they got married in the following December. They went on to welcome their first child together in April of 2020, which lets me know she was already pregnant when they got married. If the baby was born in April and they got married in December, she was already pregnant. Joshua previously dated Dawson's Creek co-star Katie Holmes and Troy actress Diane Kruger. Reflected on their relationship in a candid chat, Mr. Porter insisting he wasn't focusing on finding love when they met. Of course, he was just looking to smash. He says, I was not looking for love. I'm looking to fall in love again or meet the mother of my child. But life has other plans for you. He said, we were pretty much inseparable from the word go. It was a whirlwind romance, and I could tell my daughter, I literally saw your mother across a room and thought, I have to be next to this woman. Well, it's over and she's ending it. Listen, any relationship that starts with a one night stand is probably not going to work out long term. And the fact that they're both actors, I don't know how busy he is in acting. I know she is doing some things. It looks to me like a one night stand that lasted a little too long. These both were physically attracted to each other, and that's what brought them together. Physical attraction. And once she married this guy and got the life that she probably always wanted, she got bored. Let's be real, she got bored. She got bored. Now I want to go to what she said about raising a daughter that has a level of privilege. See, this is where I think they probably had issues. You know, she wants to push this this liberal, white privilege, even though she has a biracial daughter. It's very funny to me because you have dark complected people, especially women, who get in.
What is Ohio Issue 1 and what does it mean?
Issue 1 is a
women who get into interracial relationships, they have biracial children, but they want to still talk about privilege and, colorism, but you perpetuate colorism when you have biracial children. Jody Turner Smith is realistic about the difference between her upbringing and her daughters. While speaking to UK about her daughter Janie, who turns 3 next month, the Murder Mystery 2 actress, who's 36, says, I love this little girl so much, she's so funny. Reflecting on motherhood, Turner Smith acknowledges it's a big job to prepare children for the world. The best thing that we can do is let them touch the earth, be grounded and real. In being real, she also touched on her daughter's unique experience, adding, as real as one can be when you have a level of privilege that obviously my child has. I really think that, listen, if you're dating outside your race and you have biracial children, you can't just have biracial children and then talk about privileges and all this and that. Your child is going to be considered black. Let's be real about this. Yes, the child is biracial, but they're going to be considered black. And your daughter, when she gets older, she's going to be, competing against darker complected women. So when I hear, dark skinned women, they talk about colorism, they talk about privilege. You're creating competition, because if you see life as white privilege this and white privilege that, and then you go and you have biracial children, you defeat your own argument. Because you can't really talk about privilege if you are producing biracial kids. So it's a life you chose. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next time.
Today I want to talk to the 22% of women who are now following me. Yeah, that number has risen from 6% 5 months ago to 22% now. Ladies, welcome. Ladies, I want you to listen to this woman who's in her mid-50s. Never been married, right? She's never been married. Think about that. She's beautiful for a 54-year-old, but she has never been able to compromise with a man. And I'm going to use that word compromise because this is the essence of what this video is about. This is a teaching moment for you ladies. Ladies, I want you guys to start looking at removing this one word from your vocabulary. Settling. That word is the word that is keeping the majority of you single. A man settles every single time he picks a woman, because the man that you want has to make more money than you, has to be stronger than you, have to be taller than you, and essentially you want a man who has everything above you. That means that he is settling for you because you have less than him. So when I say to you a man is settling every single time he chooses a woman, that's what I'm talking about. Or you're going to deny that, of course, because your ego can't get over the fact that the man is actually settling. So when you look at relationships, you have to understand that there is compromise. I want you to remove the word settling and start using the word compromise. So before we get into this, guys, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscription button if you haven't been here before, just so that this algorithm can help push the video a little further for me. That's all I ask of you guys. Even if you don't subscribe, at least hit the like button, okay? And of course, listen, if you want to ask me a few questions, this is Ask an Older Man. Get me over on Instagram, the same name, Ask an Older Man, and you can send me a voice message and I will respond in kind. I love sending voice messages. Alright? But if you need a longer session with me where you need a mentor or you need to get something off your chest, then find me over on askanolderman.com and book a session with me. It's very inexpensive. I literally want to make it very inexpensive so that I can talk to more and more men and women. Alright? Literally the cost of going out for a coffee. Yeah. But you're paying for the coffee. So, listen guys, let's get into this video. So here's this 54-year-old woman explaining to you how to handle being single in your 50s.
Good morning. Whew, I'm tired today. There was a party in my neighborhood and the music was thumping all night long. So I didn't sleep, but I still got up and I'm just about to head into the woods for a run. But I wanted to speak to the ladies who are single and are struggling with it right now. I too am single. I'm 54 years old. I've never had children. I've never been married. And it's not for a lack of trying. The latter half had to be married.
If you reach 54 and you've never been married and you wanted to be married, but you've never found the right person, that's a you problem. This is a woman who's difficult to get along with. No man has been able to say, yeah, I'll put up with your bullshit. I could see that she was beautiful in her younger days. Gorgeous. Probably suffered from pretty privilege, and she left it until it was too late, until no man that she wanted her. So I'm sure the word settle is going to come up soon. Haven't listened to it yet.
Just never found the right person, and I'm not willing to settle, and it's not about being picky.
There we go. I'm not willing to settle. What does that mean? It means that you're not willing to compromise. You want everything from a man, but you're not willing to give him anything. The word settle means that I am not willing to compromise. And what is the essential thing that is required in any relationship? Compromise. You give me something, I give you something. I know that you're not perfect. You should know I'm not perfect. We compromise. That's it. That stupid idea, ladies, that you keep putting out there, I'm not settling, it's kept her ass single all her life.
It's not about being picky. It's about ensuring that I'm happy and the other person.
I'm happy. I'm happy. Life isn't about happiness. Life is about duty, responsibility, and what you can provide back to your society. That's it. This idea you gotta be happy. Ladies, just answer this one question. Which men do you think that are in marriages that are happy, but yet they stay? Yes, 20% of the time, men will leave. But that 80% of the time, they stay. It is the woman who leaves. And you know that 20% of the time men leave? I can assure you that it has become so unbearable that he's willing to give up everything.
She was probably, I'm sorry, can you stop breathing so loud, honey? He's like, breathe quietly.
Everything. He will pay whatever cost it is. Because men pay the cost when they leave marriages. Men pay. Men pay financially. Not only emotionally and all that other stuff, but they pay financially. Because men are usually the breadwinners. But men aren't happy in marriages. He stays because duty and responsibility. He understands these things. But it can become so unbearable when he knows that he's now torturing himself that he has to get out. But that only happens 20% of the time. Most of the time, men are not happy, my dear.
It's happy too. But there are many days that I am very lonely. Very lonely. I wish I could hold somebody's hand. I wish there was somebody that I could walk in the forest with and just talk about life and dreams and all those fun things, and experience sunsets and hikes and mountains and cool stuff. But just because I don't have somebody in my life doesn't mean that I'm not going to enjoy my life to the fullest. So here's my advice.
Hear what she said. Just because I don't have that in my life doesn't mean I'm not happy. Now I want you guys to reverse it, where you're with a man. What are you going to say when you're in a relationship? The same exact bloody thing. But at least you have someone to hold your hand, walk in the forest with. But you know what? Sometimes you're not happy. But all I'm trying to tell you is you can reverse the roles. Either way, are you going to still get the same emotional results when you're with someone or you're without someone? In other words, your happiness is up to you. But when you have someone, you get someone to share the bills, you get someone to share all the work, the physical part. That part is huge for anybody's life. You get to have kids, you get to reproduce your own DNA. That part is huge. You're going to have shit in your relationship, yes. But what you get in return on this side far outweighs your unhappiness on this side. Versus being alone and having none of this stuff, you're going to still have the unhappiness. You get my point? But what do you have on this side? Nothing. Zilch. Nada. Yeah, you can go to trips, you can go out in the woods on your own, you can force the happiness down on yourself, you can still enjoy yourself. But you know what? There's nothing more beautiful than sharing that experience with someone. Imagine seeing the most amazing things in the world and you have no one to share it with, versus having someone to share it with. You see my point? And all it takes for her, even at her age right now, compromise. Take that freaking word out of your mouth, settling, compromise. Because either way, you're compromising your loneliness at this point. Oh, it gets really lonely. It gets really low. She's downplaying it, and they got the music in the background that makes it sound like, oh, it's okay. No, loneliness is freaking horrible.
Yes.
It's just as horrible, or even worse, than actually having a few miserable days with a person. Because
Exactly.
you're angry that he didn't freaking
Exactly.
put his laundry in the proper place.
Exactly.
Or he went out with the boys at night and didn't come home on time. Or he shouted at you because you did something, or whatever. That loneliness that you're feeling literally does not make up for compromise that you have to put up with another human being. So it blows my mind that women just have this idea that they just gotta be happy. Duty, responsibility, and purpose. You have to have a life purpose to be happy, whether you're in a relationship or out of a relationship. Men's purpose are different from females' purposes. Female's purpose, her only purpose, different from a man, is to bear a child. If you don't bear a child within the time period that nature gave you to do that, you will be unhappy because your purpose would have left you. Men know that his purpose is to protect and provide, and he has to do that early in his days. I hope you guys are understanding this and you're getting some good knowledge from this, because these are the things that a lot of women are ignoring. Let's finish this up with what she has to say.
If you are somebody who is single and you're struggling, especially for the midlife ladies, because I know a lot of you are getting divorced right now and you're going through changes, and I know that cannot be easy. My gosh, I know it cannot be easy.
You hear that? I know a lot of you are going through divorces right now. Why is it that she is preempting that women in their 40s and 50s are going through a divorce at her age? Isn't that bizarre? That women actually see that, oh, that in my 40s and 50s, this is my exit. This is when I come out of a marriage. Think about that shit. In other words, women just have this idea. And this is Western women, by the way. I don't get this. I don't see this in any other culture. Any other culture, women are digging in deeper with their claws to stay in their marriage. In the West, oh, I'm in my 50s, I gotta enjoy the rest of my life. Doing what? With who? Don't get it. Blows my mind.
This is what I suggest that you do. Have gratitude for the things that you do have in your life. Have gratitude for the morning that you wake up and you get to have your cup of coffee and you get to literally decide what your day is going to be like. You get to choose what your day is going to be like. Have gratitude for everything.
Listen to that shit. Have gratitude. You know what? At 54, my wife has 2 teenage daughters. At 54, this woman is saying that's what you should have gratitude for. Why can't you have gratitude with that, with a man? Yeah, I'm not denying that you should have gratitude because this is the situation that you're in. But the point I'm trying to get across, ladies, is that you don't leave your husband, break up your family, just so you can have gratitude to having a coffee on your own. How the hell does that make sense? And I know the coffee is a metaphor, but usually by 54, the kids are on the kids don't need you anymore. You know, my wife wakes up in the morning on a weekend, she grabs her cup of coffee in the weekend, she goes and sits in the corner, she reads her book, she relaxes. My 2 teenage daughters will sleep till around 10. They wake up, morning mommy, they go to the kitchen, they make their own bloody breakfast. My wife don't have to move. I've already gone and done my walk, done all of my, because I'm a early morning guy, I'm a 4:30 a.m. guy. I've done all of my shit. I come home from the gym, give her a kiss, how's it going, babes? You good? Everything alright? Everything okay? Yeah, just relaxing, just having a coffee, cool. I go upstairs, take my shower, I do my thing. If she has something to say, she give me a call, I come down, or I do or if I have something I need to say or something to do, boom, I ask her. That, my friends, is what life should be like. The two teenage daughters, they get up, they want to go and talk to mommy and they talk to daddy, we're good. I give them a few chores, make sure that they stay focused, perfect life. She will stay in one room, I will stay in the next room. When she needs me, I'm there. When I need her, she's there. I get excited about something on social media, I send it to her, I can hear her laughing in the other room. She will call back to me, oh, that was funny, ha ha ha. I'll go in, we'll have a conversation about it, right? It might lead to a further conversation, but I get to have her there as a discussion, and she does it vice versa. As opposed to, oh, you send your friends a freaking video, you don't get a response until 2-3 days later, and then what? See the difference, guys? Let's finish what she said.
That is wonderful and positive in your life. Something as simple as you can drive in your car wherever you need to go.
My wife does that now. Don't get why she thinks that that's a big thing because you don't have a partner.
You get to move your body. You get to experience the sunset by yourself. You get to make a healthy dinner.
My wife goes to the gym on her own. She goes for a run outside all by herself. She comes home to her family.
Healthy dinner for yourself.
We have a helper that cooks for us because there's dual income. We got enough money to get someone to cook for us and clean. See how this works?
You are the most important thing in your life. And when you start to...
No, you're not. You're not the most important thing in your life. Family is the most important thing in your life. Okay? Duty and responsibility. Purpose. This is a selfish Western attitude. You have to stop that. When you stop becoming useful to society or to your family, then, only then, can you say, all right, it's all about me. And usually, others will help you as well. Because we are a village. We're not individuals.
Love your life just as you are. There's a greater chance that somebody special is going to walk into it. So, if you are strong...
That special person should have walked into it 30 years ago.
Yeah.
The chances of a 54-year-old woman having a great relationship with a man right now is slim to none. Because if you haven't compromised with a man at this age, you're pretty much doomed.
Struggling, that is my advice for you, is to truly enjoy your life to the fullest. Because after all, it is your life. And having somebody in your life is the icing on the cake. It is not the cake. So, I hope that helps in some small way. And I'm sending a hug to you. Okay, bye.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. And listen, I'm not being condescending. She is sending out a positive message to women, but this is the problem. Is a woman just get pacified and they get served this Kool-Aid. I don't know if you young generation would understand what the Kool-Aid is. But in case you don't know, being served the Kool-Aid can have two different references. Kool-Aid is literally just sugar. It's sweet, tastes good, but it's bad for you. So being served the Kool-Aid is just a metaphor for you to understand that women just keep listening to all of this crap instead of making a concerted effort of going out, finding someone, and compromising with that individual. Not settling, compromising with that individual. That's what I'm saying to you. Are women finally waking up and realizing that the whole feminist crap doesn't make a lot of sense? Because the receipts are in. Those so-called successful women who've gone to college, who've gotten the great jobs, who's now boss bees, they're no longer happy. They're now waking up and realizing there was one crucial mistake. You cannot ignore relationships. You guys remember this woman?
How women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that.
Only if he owned the bus. Remember her? You know the drill. Come on, give me a thumbs up. Convince this YouTube algorithm that you're going to be getting some good knowledge right here, right now. So, like the video coming in, please. And listen, of course, if you want to ask me any quick questions, listen, guys, you can easily get me on Instagram. Send me a quick voice message, and I promise you I will get right back to you in a voice message right there, literally in the same day, if not the same hour, on Instagram. Okay? So, ask an older man on Instagram to get me there. But if you need some long counseling, if you need some mentoring, if you just need to get some stuff off your chest, it's going to take a while. Hey guys, listen, time is money. So I charge a little fee, but it's so inexpensive, I can assure you, you can afford it. It's almost like sitting down, both of us in a coffee shop, and you buy me the coffee. That's it. You can talk to me for half an hour or an hour. Alright, so askanolderman.com, book a session. Okay, with that said, let's get into this lady. Ebony K. Williams. I remember this went viral. Remember guys, hypergamy is women's natural proclivity to want to have a man who is better than her, stronger than her, earns more money than her, everything more than her. Women like this who thinks that they have now reached the pinnacle because she now has a lot of money. She needs to find a man who's better than her. So she's basically saying she can't find any men better than her. She's pretty much BSing when she says, oh, women are out earning men. That statistic is BS. Men are still out earning women. And here's the shitty part. There are still a tremendous amount of men who are going to college. The difference between males and females going to college is only like a 6 or 7% difference between males and females in colleges. These women like to freaking throw these figure outs like there's no men going to college. Yeah, men are still going to college. But here's the shitty part about this statistic. More women are going to college, but men are still out earning them. And I'm going to expand on that reason a little bit further on, because I want to get into the main video that has now brought her back into the spotlight.
But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well. I would date a bus driver. But we think that it's another human being's.
I can bet my left nut that that if she was in her 20s and 30s, if she was 30 years younger, in her 20s and 30s, you would never hear this woman say, oh, I would date the bus driver. She is past her prime. Not even close. She's passed that so long ago. It is so far in the rearview mirror right now. It's just a pin drop. Okay? Now she will compromise on anything. Alright? If you saw previous videos with her back in the day, she was just as feminist as this other one. Just as loud, just as proud as any other woman that would still have her beauty. Now she's old, she would tell you anything right now. So guys, stay focused. Now she's talking common sense because she's now reached the point where she no longer has any leverage whatsoever with any man. That is the only reason this woman is saying that right now, just so you understand. But now she's older, she's spitting some facts because she's wiser, and she has now seen the outcome of where her life has ended up. That's one beautiful thing about age. You have seen this game played, and you're now watching the young generation play the same game, and you can see the outcome from it. I'm an old guy. I have seen these games played. I've seen this game already. That's why I can teach you guys how to avoid mistakes. Let's finish up on this one.
But we think that it's another human being's responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I could build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. So I think some of the criteria that we look for in the reality of today keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us imbalanced. And then when the men show up, we want to beat them up because they're not living up to our standards and criteria. And it's not working, beloved.
It's not working, beloved. It's just not working. So this video came out around 6 months ago or so, right? And I just want to set you up with this video because one of my daughters have just started her A-levels. That's the British system of... So for the Americans, you got to understand, she's 17, so now she's pretty much moving into, I guess, what do you guys call it? I think it's called junior college. I think that's what you call it in America. So we've switched schools. And I tell her, because she don't date, she's never dated anyone, nothing. She hasn't had a boyfriend. I said to her, this is the time you actually start looking at dating. The father is telling her, listen, you better start looking at dating at 17. Now, and nothing of what I said is about sex. Dating, in other words, interacting with other boys, because she hasn't done that yet. There was no prom with boys. Over here in Dubai, it's a different game. And it's not like I wanted it, by the way. I would have loved to have seen her had a boy ask her out for the prom. And I can tell you, my girls are gorgeous. I would tell you if they were average, but they're definitely above average. Tall, slim, beautiful girls. Okay? Now, she said, okay, daddy, no problem. She just agreed. She said, yeah, okay. And I told my daughters, I said, listen, I said for the next 4 years, that is going to be the only time period where you will see the maximum amount of men who are eligible for marriage in your age group ever in your life. And she said, okay, daddy, I understand. So let's hear now what this woman is saying, which is counter to what she was pushing in the past. Because she's one of these that has been pushing the whole feminist message. Go to college, girls. Forget these men. Go to college, get your education, become the boss, be. That was the message from feminism for decades. Now these women are successful, they have their money, but they're unhappy. This is the problem. So, now, here's the new message from her. And I'm starting to hear it from a lot of the older ones, because now these women have hit their 40s and reality has set in. Let's take a listen.
Reality that needs to be said out loud is that as black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding.
Now, she's perfectly correct on that. Men increase in their value to women. A woman don't understand her value to a man. This is the difference between what she's saying. What she's not saying directly is her degree means hell all to a man, and the things that are important to a man, which is her youth and fertility, those are two very important things to a man. Those decrease as she gets older. Remember, ladies, women are born with their value. Men have to create their value. Men have no value in their youth because they haven't built resources. Resources are attractive to women. And if a man has no resources, he has no value to the woman. If a woman don't have youth and fertility, beauty, she has no value to a man. Unfortunately, she loses that as she gets older. We know that if a woman has money, it's not our money. It's her money. When a woman makes money, she makes it so that she don't need a man. When a man makes money, he's trying to create a family. I've said this so many times in my video, but I have to repeat it here because, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand how both sexes think.
And the exact opposite is true for black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated black men are so low when...
She's still trying to peddle this line, if they so choose. We all know that the majority of happiness for both males and females, but more among females, is family. Once she hits her 50s and 60s, and there are no kids or grandkids coming around to see her, and most of her friends have died off or involved with their other relationships, shit gets lonely very quickly. The reality of loneliness sinks in. Those dogs and cats, that's her only companion. And at 50s and 60s and up, if you still have a sex drive, there's not a lot of young boys looking to hit those ages. Those ages, things are not as tight as they used to be. If he has all the options, he'll go for the 40s. But once you start getting in the 50s and 60s, you're looking at geriatric banana. Hate to say it like that, but it's the facts. You know I keep it real on this channel. That's some geriatric stuff that you're carrying around now. Older men will hit it, but still have to be nice, feminine, but it still have to be nice. The women still have to be nice, friendly, and feminine. Okay? Let's finish up hearing what she has to say.
Compared to black college-educated women, that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 black women students for every 1 black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. You are
I saw a comment early on this. It said women are going to start playing Hunger Games to try to get a man on campus. I thought that was hilarious.
If you are a young black woman in college, and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option.
See, there she goes again. She minimizes the message because she's trying to make sure she don't piss off the sisterhood too much. She knows that she's not happy in her 40s. She knows this. Why is she trying to calm it down? Tell people the truth. Tell these ladies the truth.
Right.
She can't find a man. She's beautiful. She's a millionaire. She can't find a man.
Exactly.
How many women are going to be in her position?
Exactly.
With her beauty,
Exactly.
her sex appeal, with her degree of fame. Because I think she's an actress as well. TV presenter. She speaks well, highly educated. She got money. And she's a lawyer. How many women can pull that shit off with a philosophy degree or marketing degree, something you can buy online for $9.95, but yet they go to college and pull that degree and rack up a $70,000 student loan? It blows my mind. Americans, you guys have no clue. Most countries outside the world don't have to pay those crazy fees. that's a whole other story. You're dead, that's a whole other story.
But it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half.
Yeah. So ladies, Mr. Kevin Samuels, whether you guys like him or not, listen to the message he was telling you, ladies.
How many times do I get women on my show that they're working, they like what they do, their career is somewhat fulfilling, but as soon as they get married and I ask, do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with the first child? Almost 100% of women say no. Understand something. What the men are saying at this point is, then why the hell are you going to college, to these expensive schools, racking up all this student loan debt to do a job or a career that you want to quit when you get married and get pregnant?
Right.
To men, we are looking at you, and you know how many men I know who have turned women down because they are economically unattractive. Ladies, hear me and hear me well.
But here's one thing that I've observed about American culture. Not bashing you guys, that's not my thing. But I have to point out one thing. And I've seen this in your politics, I've seen this in your dating life, and I want to make this very clear. It is possible to walk and chew gum at the same time. For some reason, women fell for this idea that they couldn't go to college and get an education while simultaneously getting a man. Oh, I need to focus on my education. What the hell does that mean? Alright, you're studying? Fine. You can't have a boyfriend, but you can have multiple hookups whenever you need to have sex. So you go through what? 10, 15 guys during college, but you can't have a steady boyfriend. You can't have a relationship. Tell me how the hell that makes sense. There's one thing about a relationship, and I'm talking about any relationship worth having, is that the person that's with you is an asset. It brings you peace. I'm not talking about getting involved with some guy that's going to give you trouble, because who wants that from a relationship? I'm talking about finding a man in college who's just as serious about his education as you are. Both of you come together, you go on dates together, you develop a relationship. It's a process. You can see if this person is serious about life. Right there, right then. This is the chance that you're going to get to see this man in all of his glory. You're going to see him when he's going through a hard time studying. You're going to see him struggling with his education. You're going to see his ups and downs. You get to vet that man at his worst and at his best in college. It's the perfect place. So all I'm saying is, learn to walk and chew gum, ladies. Go to college, find your man, get your education, come out, build with that man, and have a great life. Simple. It's not rocket science. Stop falling for this stupid narrative that you gotta focus on your education. It doesn't make sense. Think about it logically. I'm trying to say to you, listen to what she's warning you of, and you better find a man that you can come up with in college. There's been various videos going around of white women showing off their wedding bands in college, showing that they're engaged or married while they're in college.
Your master's degree.
Impressive.
I got my MRS degree.
I've never heard of that. MRS?
Yeah, like a Mrs. You know, like when you want to be a housewife.
Oh, that went right over my head.
We should start seeing more of those videos for Black American women. Our sisters should be doing the same thing. Building with a man. Not waiting at the finishing line, trying to find Mr. First, Second, and Third. Because there's only 3 of them. But if it's 10,000 of you waiting for the first, second, and third of those high-value men, 97% of you aren't going to get him. So, ladies, this video was for you. So, I'm so happy that I'm now moved.
I'm going to start right there. And I think a lot of women, when they get to a certain degree in life, the reason why you have your Ebony Williams and a lot of women like that, and even some of your popular social media women, and the ones that be on TikTok, and the ones that be on YouTube, and the ones that be on Facebook, is because they don't have something our grandmothers had when they was with our grandfathers, with our aunts or grand-aunts. Did they go through trials during their 40s and 50s when they were young? Yes, in the 60s. Yeah, but they didn't just throw each other away. They didn't throw, because at the time, a lot of men were going to the factories, farms. Some were educated, but they didn't just because they didn't make a certain type of money. Especially particularly when it comes to black men, black women. Black women stuck by it. And they loved their man, and they supported their man all the way up. And before the baby, that's what raised the baby boomers. But somehow, with some of the baby boomers and Gen Xers and so on from here, we lost that. We lost it. It was that generation that did. And the one thing about it is, it's like that you should. The reason why you don't know how to compromise and love like your grandmother. That's why a lot of women are single, and that's why a lot of men, and this can go up to all races of men, they find a woman that maybe someone that have the love, looking for that part of a woman that will honor them and respect them and love them and nourish them. And that's something that a lot of women don't have. That they can have the looks, and we love the looks, but if I'm going to spend my time and my heart and my investments with you, I don't want. And it would be why it's the same thing too for a woman. Would you want a man that you just throw your heart to and you invest in your time, your body? Because there's a possibility you can get pregnant, and emotions that get behind it. And I watch these women, certain popular ones, and they be critiquing men, like your Sinjis and your Nylas and all these different other individuals. And my question to these women is that, do you know what love is? And why are you so bashing on your men? Do you think that's going to, by bashing the men, that's going to make them change their mind and come back around to you by tearing down your men? And the reason why, and then they act out and come out on black men, some of us black men, is because they made a bad decision. They met the wrong type of man, and they put a number of categories. And then some trying to find that in another man, but you're going by it the wrong way when you're looking for another man in a different race. Do you really love him? Or are you there for the convenience? Or do you really love this person? That go both ways, men and women. But particularly, and it's sad to see women, and the reason why they'll say, why can't black men and because some black women will come online screaming that stuff. And then you see the following behind some of these women that pushing that agenda. And the reason why, because Ebony Williams don't know how to love. There's no love in her heart. Simple as that. She's attractive, but there's no love. That's why she's single. And a lot of women like her. And that's why you see that with Tamira, Myri, and all of them, Vigo Fox and all, because they don't know how to love. And that's why it mystifies some women. Why would a man go overseas to try to find a woman and according to that country's origin, the living standard is lower? Because when you push up against love, that's the priority, and they never left that from their grandmothers and their aunts and the women, older women out their life, and they gave them the best advice on how to keep a man. and they set the example. Do you know? And there's a lot of women that even when their husbands died, even the older women, they already had it, because they already had to instill them to love another man. See, and I noticed that when I was on Keepit.com, there were women in their 50s and 60s, some even in their 70s. You know what it was? And even though they were much older, and like you said, past your time, but they know how to love a man. They know how to stand by a man. Even if he's driving a taxi, even if he's cooking at a restaurant, even if he's a police officer in the Philippines, even if he's a councilman, even if he's just somebody selling fruit on the street, they know how to stand by their man. And there are very educated women over there by their standard in Thailand, the Philippines, and parts of Latin America and Africa. And even though if some are not educated, but it's the point that even the ones out there who have the farms and everything, but there's something that some Western women don't have. You don't know how to love, truly love, because love wouldn't be complaining. You'd be happy with what you have, and see, they're grateful for what they have. And when the man steps in his role over there and find a good thing, he gonna step in his role, and that's what counts. That's why a lot of your older men go over there from all walks of life. That's why, because some women here don't. They say things. They antagonize men, put men down, and make them belittle and dishonor a man. So when you dishonor a man, he don't feel like he has self-worth. So he gonna find some part of the world we have self-worth. And while these women over in the West complain about that, that's what it is. And the women over there are telling you that's why your men are coming. And that should make you think, but some of the women are too stubborn. So they hit back at them, saying that they can't speak English, they don't have enough education, and this and that and other. And there might be some women that might be doing some tricking over there. But majority of the women in them countries know when they see a good man, they value him. They value the man. And even among their Filipino men, they value their men. And you don't see that. These Filipino gotta make 6 figures. These Thailand men got six figures. They don't say that to them. They're just glad that they have a man. That's the point. But you over here on TikTok and they watching this stuff. They watching this. All of American women complain about this. How ungrateful you are. That's why. Because they don't pull down their man. The ones that are married to their own. The ones that don't marry outside their origin. They married the Filipino man with Filipino woman. That's a fact. They don't do that, and some of the men don't have the highest paying job, ladies, just like men over here. They work just as hard. Some are in good positions, some are not. It make you think about that. Same way with Thailand, same with the Dominican men, same with other men, other places, Jamaican men, whatever. Some African men. So that's what it is. And when they come to these Western countries like America, you ever notice that they stick together? They really stand together because they have a common goal. Number one, they both know the language of it, but two, what they get is the culture and what it's like to be over from their families, and so they got each other. Got to have each other's back, because there ain't enough family members over here. And it's a sense of community, sense of family, sense of belonging that they had in their home country. That's when the American men go over there, that's what they see. That's what they see. And are there some immature men that been over there? Went over there? Yeah, you got some passport pookies. I've heard about that. But you got some men that about they want the love and honor and the time and investment. They're willing to invest their heart and everything. Though they're looking for someone to love and care about them. It ain't too many, and it's like, in this day and age, it's hard to find that. So that's why they go over there. But while you sitting back there putting a certain time and height limit and income limit, whatever, what does it say about the bus drivers, the factory workers, and whatever? Well, he can save up his money and maintain a 40 or 60 hour week job being a bus driver here, being a construction worker, being a landscaper here. What are you saying? Because all you gotta do is put it, if he's able to keep his own place and able to pay his own bills, he's doing something right. See, I don't think about that. And when you love somebody, you compromise, like he said. But some of you don't want to compromise because you stuck. And that's why some of you who are educated, who have college degrees, and just like they make you pay back them student loans. And that's part, and I know that's got to be hitting your pocket. Because you drive around that nice car and that car payment on top of it. So you got to work just as hard, but you're not working smart. And it's tough. I can only imagine it's tough. But it's some women's own mouth have caused, because there was men that would probably came in there and stepped up to the plate. But there are some women that open up their mouth and the reason why they're single. And they up like this woman, 54 years old, and up and over. I'm happy, bull crap. Like bull. Trust me. And like he said, when you can spend some time with somebody who you really care about, who really love you. Here's the advantages that having somebody. Because if something's supposed to happen to you, and you go into the hospital and tell your family members what happened to you, if you have someone love and care about you, they're going to make sure that if you incapacitated, that you're taken care of. Because sometimes maybe family won't be there. Think about that. Second thing you need to think about is that even in certain situations, two heads are better than one. When it comes to certain circumstances around your house and apartment, just in certain scenarios. So some people don't think about that. You know, you can get stuck out on the road. You got your husband. Something happened. And you can be in a panic, and you have someone who's level-headed that keep you balanced from not you losing your mind. If you got the right person there. That's the advantage of having somebody. Because the dog can't talk to you. The cat can't talk to you. They comfort you, but they can't talk to you. And even though he said family should come first, I agree with that. Before family, the Most High God should come before you, then your family, then you. But until you're able to do that, that's why. And a lot of these women online griping and trying to, and you sitting and angry, tacking, because they're not happy. Because the happy women won't be doing stuff like that. The happily married women ain't making videos pulling down men. Cause they got their man at home. And they ain't giving their man up. Who's taking care of them? And them the wise women. And a lot of women are not wise from all walks of life. So when you see these women making these videos on TikTok and bitching and complaining on YouTube, whatever, they're not wise. They're hurt. They're very hurt. And they're only going to hurt themselves. Because if a man were attracted to them, he said, they can physically find you attractive. But what people like women like, but when they see her personality, he got to think about, is he going to invest his heart and time, especially a man with 6 figures. To turn around, someone and tell you, I'm going to leave you after like what happened in the first situation video. And that's why Jada Black would say, what's the sense of getting married when a woman going to try to do that because she discards you like a used furniture? But men do it, it's just as wrong. You don't do another person like that. Again, and when we see a woman, we think that a woman has some type of love with nurture. That's why that's why men assume that no, she can't be like this. Because we're hoping that you have a loving nurture, like our grandmothers stuck by our grandfather and granduncles did. That's the truth. Or mothers or fathers in some cases, and some of the baby boomers. But Gen X, some Gen X's and millennials, and definitely Gen Z's. Hopefully they watch the older ones. And you see, and look at all the single women in your family who never been married, and the men that they select. And my heart goes out to the women who knew how to love a husband, and left them, and God took them to glory. My heart goes out to them. But to the ones that just were stubborn and hard-headed and independent, I'm this and that and other. It is what it is. They should learn, and that's why they don't. And like he said, where's the reward when you have your kids and grandkids come to check on you? Something to think about. And like you said, when your friends get older, something happen, they expire, they go on, they move on to different projects. That's true. It's harder when it gets older. I'm trying to tell you. So take his advice. That's true. You know, I pray that God bless me with somebody, because if I do, I know how to appreciate them. I ain't trying to bid down every woman on the planet. Oh no, I learned my lesson, because it comes down to, there are some women out there that know how to love from the heart. That's not going to do that. Or they know what comes around goes around. Then they're out there. But for the men, be careful, bruh. Just because she look good, make sure she has the heart. What's her nurturing in her nature? Just don't look at the body. The body is just a shell. It's the heart that makes the beauty. It's the inner inside out, not outside in. Because is it worth your time? If a man listen to this, is it worth your time and your investment? Because there's some women out there that cold. Just like men are cold to women, there are women that are just as cold as men. And they do that. And you see celebrities, and that's a shame. Because they take marriage like it's a joke. It's not a joke. It's a lifetime commitment. And it takes work. Nobody want to work at nothing when it comes to marriage. They're lazy. It's an easy way out, but it's costly. Very costly. Emotionally, financially, and everything, like he said. So, I hope you like this video. But yeah, subscribe to their channel, because he's dropping nuggets, trying to tell you. And to the women that hope they come across this video, listen to him. Because you're 25 now. What is going to be like when you hit 45 or 55, 65? Think about it. Do you want to be like that 54-year-old woman? If a woman watching this, because the example is just around you. All these examples that is right around you. They're in your family. They're people that you know. They're people that you work with, and people that you go to school with. That should be a testimony right there. Don't do what they do. Do something opposite. Appreciate the person you have in your life. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, take care. See you on the next video.